My deep appreciation of theater history was instilled in me by Tom Empey, a college mentor to me and hundreds, if not thousands of others. While teaching Greek theater terms, he would grab the fabric of his slacks and say,
"You see these pants? Euripides, Eumenides,"
making light of content that could be considered rather dry and stuffy while still maintaining respect for the art, which is what I want to do with this podcast. For each episode, I invite a guest from the many paths my theater career has taken me down. I give my guests no idea what we'll be talking about, but they know we're going to find an outrageous story about theater history and perhaps get a better understanding about why we're still doing it after all these years. So, welcome to Euripides Eumenides, and I am your host, Aaron Odom.
Apocalypse, I said, why you want to show up now? Just when the heart of my life was getting good. I'll give you one more chance. Walk on out of the door, yeah. Get your ass to getting where the getting is good.
Good morrow, Eumenidites, or Goodeen, whichever it may be for you. This is Aaron Odom from Trident Theater, bringing you another episode of Euripides Eumenides, a theater history podcast. I want to get right into the episode as we've got a lot of ground to cover, and I didn't want to split this episode into multiple parts. Rather, I'd like for you, my listener, to fully consider the genre of musicals and what they mean to you. You love them? You hate them? Maybe for the latter category, this story is for you. Joining me on this episode are Laurel, Rockall, and Katie Wahl, co-hosts of the wonderful podcast High Tales of History. The three of us have been podcasting buddies for years, and we've each appeared on each other's shows multiple times. On one of their appearances on this show, we discussed the unusual origins of the character Peter Pan and how he first appeared as a character in a play rather than in a book. I had no idea just how fundamental that story was to Katie's youth, and just how glad that I told her my version of that story as an adult, rather than finding out the origins of that character as a child. Might have made her appreciation somewhat diminished. Now, you go back and listen to episode 55 if you want the whole scoop on that. Fortunately, Katie still loves Peter Pan despite me pulling back the curtain. But, speaking of pulling back the curtain, this topic is one that I've been sitting on for years, and I was finally ready to talk about it, and Laurel and Katie had a blast hearing about it. And so will you. So, without further ado, I give you episode 10 of season 2, Bat Boy the Music. Oh my word, ladies, good to see you again. Holy smokes.
So Hello. Great to be here.
Yeah. I love to see, like, I listened to this years ago. I think it was Vin Diesel was on like David Letterman or something like that. And they actually noticed that when he broke out in like 1998 in Saving Private Ryan, Letterman's like, "You've actually been here for a long time." And he's like, "Yeah, and it actually was kind of the key to my longevity." He says he ran into Harrison Ford at some event as a young man, like he was catering it or something like that. You know, he was just serving drinks, and he got him one-on-one for just a moment. And he's like, what is the secret to your success? And Harrison Ford, in his typical Harrison Ford, I wish I could do the impression.
Me too.
Who doesn't? He said something like, "I stuck around." He's like, "Okay, need a little clarification." He said, "Well, when I came to Hollywood, you know, like 30, 40 years ago, it was a group of me and like 8 other guys from, you know, wherever they came from. And one by one, like a few months in, one guy's like, 'Oh, this is crazy, I'm not going to make it,' and goes back home. Maybe another 3 months later, another guy goes back home, until maybe years down the line, everybody goes back home. And that's when Ford got his first role."
You just don't give up.
Yeah, that's right.
We are Harrison Ford. We are Harrison Ford and Vin Diesel. And now we're family.
Yeah, now we're family.
Hops in her fast car.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, they just did what? Fast X? Like what?
Goodness.
How are you going to do 11? How are you going to do 11? I don't know.
I did not know how many there were. First off, second of all, I haven't seen a single one yet, but the day is coming where I'm going to sit down and I'm going to binge the absolute hell out of them.
I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Even if that never comes to pass, whatever is after this life, they're not going to go, yes, but did you
There's
see
not going to be a
this?"
pop quiz. You
No,
sure?
I don't think so. I don't know.
What about Lord of the Rings? Because there I'm covered.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. We got to hit them like hardcore, long edition, extended edition, 11 and a half hours. Let's go.
I would not move for days.
Hey, wait,
Enjoy.
Katie, you were just telling us about a life-changing experience you just literally had within the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with Lord of the Rings. It is in a green dragon mug. I'm gonna.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. It happens in this household.
That's
all comes
deliciously
together.
nerdy of you.
Thank you. So I was in the midst of making a chai latte, and then I stared up at the wall, which is under construction, and stared at that and was like, man, I should really call the electrician and get that fixed. $6,000 later, sadness. And then I was like, you know what I should do? I should put pumpkin spice in my chai. So I made a chai latte, threw in a little bit of vanilla extract because I like the little vanilla goes well on lattes, especially it like gentles out the spice of the chai. And I put a little bit of that pumpkin spice syrup, which I was telling you guys. So in case anyone wanted to know, you make it with pumpkin and just like you would any other syrup, sugar, water, the 1-to-1 ratio, all that. I put cinnamon, cloves, a little bit of allspice, nutmeg, ginger, obviously. Is there anything else in there? But you just boil it all down. I'm telling you, life changing.
Oh, see, and I love those moments of a life hack like that. Like, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and Nintendo's coming out with these games that, there might be special codes, but we're not going to tell you what they do.
Right.
We know you're going to be looking for them. And the first one I ever found was Contra. And some like a friend of mine leaked it to me. We're sitting at the lunch table in the cafeteria in like third grade. He's like, "Dude, did you know about the Contra? Like you get like infinite lives. They're like 30 lives." I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me! How do you do it?" And he had to do it
down,
like
down, start.
Oh yes, up down, and instead of left right. Because it's a game that scrolls, he goes over, BA, select start, and I've never forgotten that.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
But that's how you heard about him, though.
That's how I heard. Yeah.
That's how I heard about it because I didn't have like the game manuals or stuff.
No.
Like I didn't have any of that. You had Final Fantasy stuff, Laurel. I found those in the direct. Ended up in my shit here at my house.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it had your notes and your, childhood friend. I was sitting there reading.
Yeah.
I was like, I was sitting there. I was like, wow. I just
write the notes in,
that
man.
moment when you like blast back to the past and you just like disassociate hard and you're like seeing where you were. I did that. I was like, whoa. And Blake's like, "Are you good?" I was like, well, let me tell you what, I just visited another dimension. But you want to play Final Fantasy and like jump on some chocobos? He was like, what?
I now know I possess the knowledge. That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Well, hey, looks like your show's doing well. We've all been learning and growing, sticking around and finding all those little life hacks that work. Weirdly enough, that has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm going to be talking about today.
I was like, what life hacks are we going to learn about Aaron Odom? What?
Nope, not a one.
No.
Not a one. But I did send you a question to mull over as I oh my God. Do you understand this is actually one of the original topics that when I started thinking about doing this show, I'm like, I need to find the right time. I need to find the right people. And I believe it's you.
You have come to the right place.
Now you've come to the right place.
Thank you for choosing us.
These are the droids you're looking for. Okay, well, here's the question. What's your feeling on musicals?
Katie, would you like to go first?
I was going to ask
Silence
you,
for a moment.
which one would you like? I was going to say, I read it and I was like, I'm not even going to prepare an answer. I'm just going to go off of my heart and my soul because I already know the answer to that. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably going to be pretty similar for you and I, though, right? I mean,
Okay. I would say I like musicals.
Uh-huh.
I do. Just a blanket statement. Yes, I like musicals, but not all musicals I like.
Ah, okay.
You know, I can't say like you're like all musicals are wonderful because you can be like, do we need to make a musical out of this? Is the music very good? Is there, but I do appreciate a musical. I love a burst into song and exposition through the art of music and song and dance. So that's my answer, Katie.
There we go.
I was thinking maybe you would be the opposite, but you know what? I shouldn't.
Me?
This is our sister moment where we're like, what would the other one say? Because I don't know.
I am actually kind of interested. Like, you thought I was going to say I do not like musicals?
I would say that you wouldn't like most musicals.
Interesting. Well, the answer that came to my mind via my heart and soul were I love musicals, to be honest with you. Do I love I agree with what you said. Do I love all of them? Probably not. But I mean, first of all, let's think about it. Like, I grew up on musicals. If you liked Renaissance 90s Disney, they're all musicals. They're all musicals.
Right. From like Little Mermaid to Beauty and the Beast to
Lion King
to Hercules to Hunchback.
Exactly.
Now Hunchback's God.
Dude, if we're gonna like, oh man, you just touched right on it. I'm gonna lose my shit if you bring up the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I fucking love that movie. Sorry, we're probably not supposed to swear on here. Sorry.
I don't give a shit.
I aggressively love that movie with the.
I do too. It's so dark.
It's so good. Oh my god! And the music in that, and the tenor, and the in the. Hold on, I got a
Quasimodo.
I got to
Quasimodo.
Clopel will tell you. Clopel, who does the Bell of Notre Dame.
God.
And it's fucking tenor and his range in the and it's so good. And where's the camera? Oh, there is no camera for this one. Okay, I'm just gonna get really close to the mic so you can hear all my lip sounds. If you haven't listened to it, you need to hear all of it. Oh my god.
Yeah, that ending. It's not a screech. It's definitely a very passionate, incredibly high note for a tenor at the end of the opening. And it goes on forever.
The breath control.
Yeah.
I am
okay. See,
I think we found Katie's answer.
Yes, a little bit.
I was gonna say I even love things down to like B level. Well, and I don't mean that in a throw shade kind of way, but if you've ever seen Repo, the genetic opera by the makers of Saw, I love that movie. I own it on disc. Wait, DVD, whatever you called it. Back when the dinosaurs were around.
That's so interesting. And as a theater person, I do like musicals. Not my favorite genre. Last time I was in one was 3.5 years ago. I love doing it. And the last one before that was in college. So it had been like 20 some years between musicals for me. In the course of doing this show, I've come to appreciate them even more because, you got to unpack everything and find, all the gears and how they work and all that stuff. But, it's funny that because there are also those people out there who vehemently hate musicals. Yeah. Like, just can't. Mm-hmm. They just can't. I mean, honestly, your feeling on musicals, it seems to be one of the most divisive topics in theater history, as it's like the most commercially successful genre in the world.
Like, in theater people don't like musical? Like, you've actually blown my mind. I mean, Les Miserables, Phantom of the Opera. I'll literally walk around this house shirtless singing. I don't know why I'm shirtless, but that just tends to happen. Usually I'm trying to look for a shirt, but either way, I just kind of like waltz through. It just happens.
I didn't want to picture that, Katie, but now.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sure my neighbors didn't want to either, but you know what? That's not my problem. Close your drapes if you don't want to see me strolling through.
You're the naked neighbor. I get it.
I am the naked neighbor. True. The secret's out.
Yeah. It's not a universally loved thing. There are people like, and I kind of was one for the longest time. Like you can grow up on Disney movies and be like, okay, so this is fine. I guess we're having, hey, your favorite there, Katie, Peter Pan, flying around. Yes, we see you can fly. You don't have to tell me 90 times. Okay, I got it. But really, here, let me help you out. And it's not just theater people like this. I mean, there are just those people who are like, hey, we're going to go see a musical. They're like, out. I'm out. Count me out. No, absolutely not.
Uncultured swine.
And they're listening right now and they're like, that's it. I'm listening to Rogan. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
I guess I just live my life like a musical. Like any chance to burst out in a song and dance, well, I'll do it. I'll literally grab Blake's hands in the middle of the supermarket and just start serenading him. And he's like, this is my life. I'll swing around him like it's a movie. I can't help it. I don't know. I guess it just...
What I asked was, what kind of bread do you want? I want potato. Okay.
You're not far off.
So that phenomenon where it's like, because not everybody enjoys it, I kind of wanted to dive into that a little bit. And, whenever we go to the theater, there is a term in theater called the willing suspension of disbelief, and basically goes into any kind of acted out storytelling. We are honestly setting ourselves up to say that I understand that what I'm about to see are not real people being the real characters. I understand that this is an environment of like heightened circumstances so that, I get it. I get it. So I'm willing to buy into the lie you're telling me. And that was actually another episode that I was going to do is when we were acting, Are We Lying? And it's the shortest episode I'll ever do. And I'm doing it right here in a mini episode within an episode. The answer is yes.
You've talked about that for quite a long time.
It is.
So the fact that you mention it now, I'm like, here it comes. But yeah,
nope.
You're right. I mean,
it is. We're lying. And you're asking us to lie to you. So it's not as deceitful, in my opinion. End of story. We're done. Okay. But
check.
In musicals, that willing suspension of disbelief, it's a little bit harder to swallow sometimes to the point where people can't engage. It's just the artifice of everything. Like you were saying, Katie, not everybody grabs their partner's hands in the supermarket and sings to them at random. And
literally only seen Mean do it, so yes.
Now, with movie musicals, it does actually help if the movie's animated. I mean, we already know we're going to stretch our disbelief because only so much can be done with live action and so much more can be done with animation. I was like thinking of The Little Mermaid and I'm like, yeah, sharks can't swim like that, but it's fun to watch.
And the blowfish doesn't play the tuba.
Yeah, no. Oh, and they talk. Everything talks. Okay, so I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
And has eyebrows.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, okay,
fish with eyebrows. Yep.
Well, but even think about it. We want to talk about a musical. Like even Spirit, the animated horse movie. That's the one thing I hear people say. Why do the horses have eyebrows? I said, well, how are you going to give a horse expression without eyebrows? It's a storytelling technique. But it's one of the funniest critiques and one I hear more often than not. They're like, why are there eyebrows? So now I'll just look at people deadpan if we're watching like a Disney movie, for example, or whatever, and be like, but why do they have eyebrows? And they're just like, people are taken aback and they're laughing like a joke, but
yeah, like that's
real
pretty
answer,
fun. That's going to wake them up tonight and be like, oh my God, why do they have eyebrows?
They're so expressive.
Let that haunt you, your nightmares.
But fish can't hide eyebrows. I don't understand. I don't know why I went southern there for a second. That was amazing. But of course, when it's live action, the reality of the surroundings tends to make that suspension of disbelief even more difficult, which is why I think when you get it on stage, people are like, ugh.
That's because there's no eyebrows.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there you go. But even when people know that something will have musical numbers, this is often when people check out or like step out of a movie musical to go get snacks, go to the bathroom, etc. They're just like, I can't when they just burst out into song.
Like, isn't it part of the storytelling. Like they say important shit in the lyrics.
The exposition of it all.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I'm like, but you're gonna miss important details, dude. Like, it's part of the story, man. Like,
yeah, you're absolutely right. This is how these characters are expressing how they feel, and also getting essential information out there.
right.
But it's just through the undeniable power of song.
Yeah.
And this is the interesting part. I was reading this and I'm like, oh wow, I never thought of this. The characters don't seem to understand that they are now singing. They are simply communicating. And neither does anyone else in that world. Nobody. They're like, oh, Gretchen's singing now. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I hear the song. I understand the song. I know the song. And I mean, even in that scenario, where the hell is the music coming from?
You guys just don't have like a soundtrack playing in your heads 24/7. Is it just me?
Is that not everybody? Yeah.
Do I just disassociate that hard that musicals are normal?
I have a 20-piece orchestra following me around everywhere. Make sure the timpanis are on tune.
Hand out the words to everybody so we can all be singing the same. So that way everyone is in on this song and the exposition and a part of the story.
You're just deadpan staring at the checkout lady, and when she asks you a question, you just burst into song. She'd be like, what the hell?
Do you have any coupons? Do I have any coupons? Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hey! I went to college with a guy whose dad was like a famous opera singer in Europe. Like, I'd never heard him. And you'll have to forgive me for just a moment here because my dogs have apparently decided to enter the conversation. You might hear some panting and slobbering. So anyway, but because of like his body shape, his size, his age, he was a certain part. Like, and there's that certain type in a lot of different operas. Yeah. And so not only does he know all of them by heart, he has his own costumes and carts them around with him all the time. And it blew my mind to find out, like, so you just have all of this? Yep.
That's amazing.
All the time?
Yep. All the time. Not like I got to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to go, be Figaro.
But he could if he wanted to, is the point here. And that's what's most important here.
Darling, we are going out tonight, and I will be Papageno. Okay, you'll be Papageno.
Wow.
Worth it.
Well, that's cool.
So he already knows all the songs and all the musical. But I guess that's part of the business, because he has to be ready to go and do a new gig at any given time. So he's got to be ready any given time, right? So, yeah.
That's incredible. Also, to be an opera singer, what's amazing about opera, from what I've understood about most of it, is they don't get microphones. It's all projection and their voice and the shape of the spaces that they perform in. That's amazing.
I've known another person who was trained in opera, and they were performing for a little event, like in kind of a convention hall or something like that. Not a huge room or something, but the sound engineer goes to them and they're like, so what kind of microphone you want to use? And it wasn't like a huge bombastic, like, how dare you? It was just kind of like a looking over the eyelids going, I don't need one of those.
Right.
And then the music played.
What a flex.
Oh, yeah. Well, the music played. She starts singing, and we're all like, huh?
Uh-oh.
Oh, the music was too loud.
You don't need a, huh? That was great music anyway. Well, hey, speaking of musicals and operas, kind of getting back on topic here. Another reason people don't really like them is there's also just kind of the way that emotion is felt in musicals, often way over the top. I mean, I don't think I've seen one full production of it, but some reason or another, the rain scene and Singing in the Rain comes up on my YouTube the other day, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch that. It's just a dude singing in the rain.
That's the beauty. It's the simplicity.
That's it. But my God, he is feeling something so big. And I'm like, you're going to get the sniffles. That's all I can think is like, sorry. Yeah.
You're going to have wet clothes.
Yeah. The socks, when your socks get wet in your shoes.
I'm really
And you
starting to understand like my mental illness right now, because when it rains, I'm like, how I just want to put on my iPod and like, well, I don't even use my iPod, Spotify anyway. Stream us on all your favorite platforms. Anyway,
Good job, Katie.
I'm here for all of us. But seriously, like it starts raining. I'm like, I just want to go sing and dance in the rain. Like, I think I'm actually just mentally ill, is what I'm understanding right now. As I just have a deep.
But see, that's just it. I feel like you almost are a character in a musical. I mean, to have that feeling so strong.
I have a lot of feelings.
And that the feeling can only be expressed so strongly that it physically changes the structure of human expression so that music will play and everyone will intrinsically know the song and be able to follow your exact movements.
I mean, in a perfect world, in my fictional understanding, yes, I would love that. There's like the level, so I'll just like break into my song and dance as I am. And then there's times where Blake joins and the level of like hope, joy, and the impossibility of that moment. And I'm like, did you just sing back the song in my heart? And he was like, and then doesn't know the rest of the words. But
Our
I live
love
for those moments.
is like a bagel, and I am the cream cheese. Yeah.
I want to be fatty and delicious.
Even with all that, there's still people out there who take all of that into account, Katie, and say, yeah, but I still love them.
Yeah.
I still love musicals, despite the fact that they're completely fake. Nobody ever acts like that. Nobody ever talks like that. And you're really asking me to swallow a lot when you are asking me to think that these people are going through something real.
Okay.
Did I just hear glass breaking? I think I heard glass. All right. So I'm going to tell you a story then about a musical that even the composer has said, quote, it is a musical for people who hate musicals.
All right.
Ooh,
All right.
get him. Get him.
Go get him.
Go get him. Go
You
win those
show
hearts.
them.
We'll see.
Sometime in the 90s, LA-based theater artists Keith Farley and Brian Fleming were in a supermarket, and while waiting in line at a checkout stand, saw an image that inspired them to greatness. Oh, Katie's got, I see the light bulb.
I can't put the word to it, but literally everything you just said about it, I was like, oh, wait a second. Like the deep recesses of my memory were opening, and I was like, oh, I feel like I will give you the like probably punching the screen motion if I do indeed recognize what you're about to tell me.
Well, I have a feeling this might blow the lid off for you. How familiar are the two of you with the periodical Weekly World News? Big smile
Right
on
up
Laurel's
there.
face.
Is that basically right up there with the National Enquirer and the sort? Okay, yes, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Now, for those of you who might not remember, Weekly World News was able to stick right in the middle of all those tabloid newspapers that were so popular in the 80s and 90s, like the Enquirer, Us Weekly, The Sun, and Star. Oh my God, all of them talking about which celebrities had done which drugs and you know who they're sleeping with this week.
I care what drugs they're doing. I don't have them. That doesn't help me any.
Right, exactly. But it did help us really understand why Obama wore that tan suit that one time.
You wore a tan suit?
Yeah. Oh God.
My Lord.
Tan suit gate.
Let me just
Oh,
talk
my
about
goodness.
scandal like we've never seen.
My dear honey, somebody needs to tell him.
I know.
Who let him walk out like that? Because anybody who was a friend allowed that to happen. And you're wrong for that.
Yeah. I mean, it was summer, but anyway. Weekly World News was first published in 1979 and ran as a weekly periodical until 2007. It's my understanding like 2 years later, they launched online and they're still going today. I love it. Now, there were only a few differences between this piece of newsprint and its competitors. One, Weekly World News generally remained a black and white newspaper, but still told incredibly sensationalist stories of an extremely outlandish nature. Number 2, undeclared and therefore unbeknownst to much of the public, Weekly World News told nothing but fabricated stories that seemed just fake enough to be dismissed as false reporting, but also just real enough or just goofy enough that people couldn't help themselves from reading the headlines and buying a copy.
Bat Boy.
Yes. Some of my favorite headlines included the following: Hillary Clinton adopts alien baby.
There it is.
Had a picture. Had a picture of her holding it. Two-headed mom pregnant again.
Again, jeez.
Had a two-headed baby.
What year was this?
These are the early 90s. These ones were the early 90s. Here's another one. Einstein's stupid twin. We all have one.
You know, Falbert Einstein, the dumb one.
What's your theory? Well, I say Nesquik is better than Hershey's.
Falbert. Damn it, Falbert.
Here's a couple more. I was Bigfoot's love slave, and now I'm pregnant with his baby.
I remember that headline.
Uh-huh.
I've seen that with my eyes.
Here's one from 93. Amelia Earhart returns to the U.S.
She's like, I don't like it here at all.
What have you done with the players? And of course, Laurel, you brought it up just a moment ago. In his first appearance in the June 21st, 1992 issue, Bat Child found in cave. But you're right. He did become known as Bat Boy. Okay. And he made many more appearances in Weekly World News over the years, getting into all kinds of adventures. They even had a cartoon strip of the adventures of Bat Boy. But yeah, his adventures that they would report about on the front page. One was like leading a police on a high-speed chase through 3 states. Yeah. He was also dispatched to Iraq to fight Saddam Hussein. And I think I heard about him scheduling a boxing match with Santa Claus or something like that.
There's too much sun in the desert. I would never send a bat there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they probably had to meet in the middle somewhere like Calgary. I don't know.
Makes sense.
But I think we've all seen the picture. Cartoonist Dick Culpa, who created the original picture of Bat Boy, did say that the image is... Yeah, right. He said that the image is a computer-enhanced mixture of a baby boy with his mouth wide open, and the eyes were kind of enlarged for effect, and Culpa had pointy shark's teeth superimposed on top of the kid's top and bottom jaws. He also stated that he loved Star Trek when he was younger, so he endowed the boy with the typical Vulcan pointy ears. Laurel, yes. Just how you doing it?
Yeah, I was doing the ears. That image... Yes. Also being a child of the late 80s and into the 90s. Like I some of those headlines, I was like, oh yeah, no, I remember seeing those at the checkout with my grandma. But that image is like burned in my mind. I like you say Bat Boy, Bat Child. I'm like, boom, the one where he's looking just at like that 45-degree angle. Yep. Open mouth, ear, like that.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It's even more stark that he's totally bald.
Yeah.
He has eyelashes. I can't remember if he has eyebrows. But they never
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll have to find a picture here and send it to you. But they never seem to show Bat Boy without his mouth being stretched wide open in what can only be assumed to be an unearthly, monstrous screech or howl. There, she found it. Katie found it.
This is straight Nosferatu.
Yeah.
What is this?
It was an image of Bat Boy on an issue of World Weekly News that Keith Farley and Brian Fleming saw one day in the supermarket, and both seemed to have the spark that said, "That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. It should sing."
What?
Yeah. It should.
I'm sorry.
It should.
What? And I thought I was mentally ill.
You know, you say its mouth is open in like a howl or a screech, but really they looked at it and they were like, his mouth is open in the magic of song.
Oh, he's belting. He's belting.
Let's give him an overture.
Absolutely. So shortly after, they began work on Bat Boy the musical.
Hell yeah.
I had no idea what was going to come out there. I just had a deep breath, like, oh my God, here we go. I'm
didn't
glad
know
I
what
had
to
some
say. I was like,
ibuprofen.
Oh,
I'm far too on the spectrum at this point. Nobody
Yeah.
asked me what my favorite dinosaur was, by the way, yesterday. So, Aaron, just so you know, I have a shirt that says "Rhythm with the Dinotism,"
Oh my God.
because the deep obsession of dinosaurs runs like so deeply through my veins. But I was at a whole reptile expo yesterday,
Oh,
like
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
biggest
yeah.
in the country. Not a single one of them, not a single one of those motherfuckers asked me what my favorite dinosaur is. I was like, this is ridiculous. I am in a place where people are actively we're actively celebrating scaly beasts, and you're not going
Man.
to ask me if my favorite dinosaur is Parasaurolophus or not? That's bullshit.
That's my favorite dinosaur. I'm not kidding.
Wait, are you serious?
did we just
I
become
pronounce
best
it.
friends?
I pronounce it Parasaurolophus, but that's okay.
Okay, people have been saying that, but in my Dinosaur Adventure 3D game that I played as a child obsessively,
Yep. That you found the codes on.
I don't know if there was codes. It was more of like education.
Your
with
prize is knowledge.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it was.
The company that fucking built that was called Knowledge Adventure. I shit you not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was a little dude walking upstairs that went, ding, and there was a star at the end of his hand.
Yeah.
We want people to have a damn good time and learn.
Dinosaurs. But the main dude is a Parasaurolophus named Ralph. So
that's amazing.
He told me to say it that way. So if Ralph lied to me, anyway, I'm sorry. We were talking about Bat Boy and why anyone thought that this needed to be a musical /
Oh, just wait. Like, I have strong feelings about Bat Boy myself, honestly. But
and Parasaurolophus.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so Keith Farley, Brian Fleming, they're working on Bat Boy the musical. It wasn't too much of a forefront project for them. And from my experience, LA-based theater folks are doing a lot of projects all at the same time, just hoping something's going to stick. You know, they write for this thing, they walk dogs, they are valets, all just to kind of get like a little bit of exposure here and there. And so
project.
this is just, and these guys are writing partners. So they're just like, let's just get together and put something on paper. And if something works, we'll try to get it out there. It's just fun to do that work. And well, I mean, for example, Keith Farley is actually more well-known as a voice actor in video games. And when they adapt anime from Japanese to English, he's one of those guys.
Is he the Yu-Gi-Oh guy that yells Exodia, the Forbidden One? Is it that guy?
I'm going to say yes without having any knowledge of that.
Okay. I'm going to look it up, but I think
Do
that's
it.
him. That's
And
one of
if
the
you want to-
nerdiest things I've ever said out of my mouth, though.
That was pretty nerdy. I actually covered my mouth like, oh, yeah. Oh,
I'll
Totally,
admit it.
wow.
totally covers the Parasaurolophus stuff. Now, in any case, the process for Farley and Fleming was to write stories and sing songs about Bat Boy and some situations he could find himself in. But as their abilities to tell story about Bat Boy grew stronger, their songwriting abilities seemed to shrink at the same rate. So, 4 years into the project, they're realizing the stories we're telling are great, the songs we're writing are shit. They were both working at the Actors Gang Theater in LA, and at intermission met composer Lawrence O'Keefe, who was a composer and music director for a play on stage at that time. Farley and Fleming got to talking to O'Keefe during intermission, pretty quickly asked him if he wanted to work on their Bat Boy project. They showed him a picture of Bat Boy upon request, and O'Keefe said this was legitimately his response. "That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely."
Yeah. I love this inverse
one
relationship
does.
that's happened, you know, as they have like more adventures and they're like, our story is going, it's amazing. Where it's increasing. We're on this uptick, but the songs, no, they're good.
Yeah.
The inverse relationship here.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that other people have come at this project and been like, you know what? That's terrible. I'm in, you know,
I'm
like
in.
That's, yeah.
You never expect that.
I love that.
Here,
spirit.
smell this. It's awful. Get me more. So O'Keefe's now on board, And he says he put together the original score in about a month. Now, that doesn't surprise me. I'll tell you a little bit later about his prowess specifically. But, he got the idea. He got some good concepts down and just, it went. Now, it did go through several changes over the years, but premiered in its initial form on Halloween 1997 at the Actors Gang Theater. And after that, the group reworked it for a bigger premiere, air quotes, sometime later on. The end result was something of a horror comedy akin to Little Shop of Horrors, using a rock and roll musical style, and the cult status of the title character to attract an avid audience full of people who don't necessarily go to theater all the time. Mainly, O'Keefe suggests that the musical flies in the face of standard musical writing by focusing on just how stupid, one, the concept of the story is, and two, how dumb the musical genre can seem, and three, how inherently dumb people can be most of the time.
I mean, I agree with the satire. Like, I'm here for it, but I also I have the sneaking suspicion that I've been brought here today to read some things to filth. Like, I didn't know I was going to be casting so much shade, but I feel like that's where we're headed.
Oh no, I think you're gonna like this one.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Is it available on YouTube?
Yes, a full version, and I've watched all of it, and it was
I'm going to watch all of it.
I'm still like, it was a community theater production, and so not everything was like spot on perfect, but they told the story really well. They did it really well. They did their damnedest, and I was just kind of watching the story and just going, what kind of madness is this, and why does this actually work so damn well?
Okay.
So, I would imagine you're wondering how a story can be told about a recurring character in a tabloid. Well, let's go through the plot of Bat Boy the Musical.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, yeah. So I'll leave the link to that version in the show notes. Okay, the play starts just outside the fictional small town of Hope Falls, West Virginia, where three teenage siblings, Rick, Ron, and Ruthie Taylor. Don't you love those parents who have kids and they name them all the same freaking first letter?
Yeah. We're all about alliteration in our family. Just all the alliteration.
The only bone I'm going to throw here is the alliteration actually does help if you have memory problems. Just throwing that out there.
I get that. And, if you're in one of those things where you're forced to have a bunch of kids, it's easy to sit there. John, Jory, Jessica, Jasmine, get down here.
Yeah, inevitably you go through all your kids and pets' names anyway as a parent. You know what I mean? So you're just like, that one,
Yeah.
So if there
was one time,
alliteration,
Laurel, there was one time where mom went through like animals that have passed before she got to mine. I was like, what the fuck?
Yep. Like something was broken or something was out of place. My mother would do the same thing. Like she'd call out 5 names, including pets' names. And we're like, well, I guess we're not in trouble. Good.
Right?
And I was an only child. So that was fantastic. Yeah. Now, right out of the bat, we're already flouting musical theater structure by not having any music to start the show. It's just 3 kids with miners' hats, the little flashlight on the miner's hat on, and they're just walking around and talking like, wow, what a spooky cave. This is so cool. You don't start with music. I mean, I've seen it done, but not that often. Usually you have an overture so people can get used to the sound of the music. And
Bells of Notre Dame.
Yeah, right?
Sorry, I have such a raging hard-on for the Touchback Notre Dame. That fucking movie is so good. It makes my fucking nipples hard. It's so good. It's just like the level of quality. Nobody gives it the time of day. Fuck off.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Disney did try it too. They tried it on stage.
Oh, did they?
Oh, I think that's a future episode. I got to do that.
Definitely you should.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you're not wrong. Like, there are so many musicals out there that Well, even the one I compared it to, even Little Shop has like a big opening number that has a really peppy and upbeat thing, but it comes after like a very ominous voiceover, like you'd see in, a cautionary horror movie from the 50s.
Yeah. I still have to see that. So don't. I know it's on the list, and because it's October, it's on the soon to be list. So I'm getting
all
there.
I'll say
Don't worry.
is don't feed the plants. And if you see the movie musical, the ending is different.
Oh, okay. Is it hard to find a production?
No, but you can find the original ending on YouTube.
Okay.
The outdoor theater, unfortunately, this is not helpful for you. The outdoor theater just had it this weekend.
Oh.
Played along with Grease.
Actually, I've never seen Grease.
Don't.
Grease, and I have actually. I'm just gonna. You guys are the secret keepers of my admissions here. Gonna fucking see it. I am not interested in seeing Grease. I have zero interest in it.
It's not,
okay.
I would rather watch Dirty Dancing, which is a better movie.
Yeah. I have a particular thing about Grease in that, I used to do a lot of work with high school students and stuff. And oh boy, the songs are so peppy and they're so upbeat and it's fun. It reminds everybody of the 50s when life was simpler. And I go, there are two major issues that we never address with that. One is a girl gets pregnant and may have an abortion, and we don't know if that happens or not. And you're just going to allow your high school kids to keep doing it. Oh, also, by the end, the girl has to completely change who she is to be accepted by the man. So
that's not cool.
Piss off.
Hey, my high school. Yeah, that was the first musical I did in high school. My freshman year. I wasn't like on stage. I wasn't part of the crew, but we did Grease
part of the ship
in its entire, like in its full story.
Yeah.
It was one of those things in the moment we're like, it's fine. I mean, I think it was like 2001, I think something like that. 2001. Yeah. So
Grease Lightning is all about sexual body fluids. That's all. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
It's just like, I'm just going to be honest. I couldn't even sing for you a song right now, but anytime I did hear them, so I've always been a person, and maybe this is why musicals work well for me. I have always listened to lyrics, and I tend to connect deeply with certain lyrics. That's why I like certain, like Laurel, like with certain artists, like the way certain the lyrics they write down, I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Were you chilling in my bed listening to my private thoughts? Like, you know what I mean? But like, seriously, when you hit those ones that you can connect with, it's like, it's a big deal. But I just remember there were times where I would tune in, and because we were both readers from a young age, Laurel and I, and when I would listen to some of I just remember some of them made me uncomfortable. I remember just having that visceral reaction, and I was like, I don't like that. I'm not interested. And that was it. That was the distance that it took. And that's all I remember about Grease. Not Dirty Dancing, though, which is a great movie.
Yeah.
That bass line.
And from my understanding, currently in development for a Broadway run. So there you go. But let's get back. I know, we just started the story and now we're taking a break. But trust me, the best is yet to come. But while we're stopped, I've got a couple things in mind. First, have we given you food for thought? What do you think of musicals? You love them or hate them? I'd love to hear from you. Hit me up with a DM on the Instagram page for Euripides Eumenides. I also want to encourage you to listen to Laurel and Katie's show and start listening if you haven't already. Their podcast, High Tales of History, can be found on most podcast providers, even YouTube. That's High Tales of History. So, now that we've dispensed with that, let's get back to Laurel and Katie and find out the rest of the plot of Bat Boy the Musical. So you got these three kids, Rick, Ron, and Ruthie Taylor, all teenage siblings, poking around in a dark cave, and they are approached by what can only be described as a weird, pointy-eared bat thing. They try to make contact with it, but Bat Boy reveals his two very sharp vampire-like fangs and attacks Ruthie, biting her arm. Laurel is beside herself, and I love this.
Oh, no, Ruthie, no. Oh,
Rick and Ron capture Bat Boy, and Ruthie is then rushed to the hospital. Then we get our first song, in which the rest of the cast, all being different people from the town of Hope Falls, West Virginia, they sing the opening number called Hold Me Bat Boy, in which all of their interests and questions about Bat Boy are realized. They want to know what he is. Some of them are terrified, but some are inspired by what he could bring to all of their lives. It's a trope we've seen tons of times before. Something of potential value is discovered by a small group of people in an isolated place, and the possibilities of that discovery are endless. Hope, love, fortune, etc., etc.
Wow.
Interesting.
And it's a good song. Hold me, Bat Boy. The Taylor boys take Bat Boy to the sheriff, who then reasons that the only thing he can do is deliver him to the home of the town veterinarian, Dr. Parker, because he can't really figure out what else to do.
That's actually a really fair thought, though.
Makes sense,
Like, what a
actually.
logical step to take. So far, I'm completely on board.
Okay, if you the song that he sings to describe it is like he goes through all the different agencies that he possibly could. He's like, well, he ain't 18 yet, so I can't take him to jail. FBI, they don't handle this kind of stuff. I mean, it's just absurd.
Take him to the vet.
CIA. You should have tried the CIA.
Should have tried the CIA.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure he's from another country. Dr. Parker isn't home, so his wife Meredith vows to take care of Bat Boy in the song called Christian Charity, like it's her duty, Dr. Parker's daughter Shelley is initially fascinated and terrified by Bat Boy, and is soon totally annoyed by him because he won't eat and he's constantly crying out in his cage.
Like when you say vows, like she took an oath, like
it's that strong of like, I have to do this. He has nothing else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, he does. Throw him back in the mine where he came from.
He learns
Put
the
it back.
lines.
Put it back. Have we not learned by now? It's 2025. Come on.
But he might be something special.
He might be in the cave.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Shelley, the daughter Shelley is there. She's an only child. And she's kind of like initially like, ooh, he's kind of neat. And then kind of like, ooh, he's kind of weird. And then because he's stuck in a cage, he's like screaming and crying all the time. And Shelley's like, oh my God, shut up. But Meredith, the mom, sees a frightened and lonely creature. And she helps her daughter to see him that way too by naming Bat Boy Edgar. Give him a human name.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I have named all the jumping spiders on my premises and all the box elder bugs, but like, what happens when this thing eats the family dog or cat? Like, has anybody thought about this?
Look at this. You're going in some very interesting directions already.
Yeah, put it back.
Yeah. Rick Taylor soon shows up. He's apparently Shelley's boyfriend. And now that his sister's in the hospital because of Bat Boy, Rick is like raging at Bat Boy's presence in his girlfriend's house and threatens to kill him with a knife in a song.
No other way.
Meredith comes back and she gets really upset with Rick for how threatening he's being and then throws him out of the house. And before the scene ends, Meredith sings Edgar a lullaby called A Home for You, which does finally calm Edgar down. And it even shows us that Edgar can harmonize with his cries and howls.
Well,
Get out of town. Does he actually? Is that how he harmonizes, through howls?
bats have to talk to each other somehow, Laurel. Might as well be through song.
Even through the magic of song? Okay.
Yes, through the magic of song.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to just take a moment here, as my listeners who don't like musicals might be rolling their eyes with just how much music has already infiltrated this story. My opinion, as someone who isn't a fan, like a super fan of musicals, I do appreciate them. I see their place in the world of theater. I have several that are some of my favorite plays. This music is really well written and allows the audience their enjoyment in the absurdity of the show as a whole. Like you have to go in knowing, yes, I'm seeing a musical about a Bat Boy. That's absurd. Okay. They sing at the beginning about what a Bat Boy could bring. And now that they have all these songs that have really kind of captured you, you should be in. You should be like, whatever they do from here on out, I am down. I am in it. They have convinced me. I'm in the dark side now.
It's kind of like sitting down and accepting another Godzilla movie. You know that storyline
Yes.
could be batshit crazy.
Yes.
But you have to be there for all of it. You can't sit there and be like, Godzilla can't stand in the ocean. No, incorrect. You have to just pretend he's fucking treading water or got some fucking stilettos on, because here's the deal, champ. You're this far in, you can't leave now. And that is this musical. It's bottled fucking chaos. I can't wait to get roasted as fuck later and watch the hell out of this thing. Blake's gonna wish he was doing drugs with me, but the option is not before him. So
I remember seeing the second one of that new series, and at the end going, "You got to be shitting me! Godzilla can't go nuclear." And I'm like, "Oh,
Godzilla
wait.
can't go nuclear. That's where you're wrong.
Yeah.
You see, this is a very nuclear planet."
And I'm saying that as he's fighting a 3-headed dragon with giant wings,
Ghidorah.
and, and all these other monsters, and that was the thing. That was the thing that I'm like, oh, bullshit.
That's what you picked up on. You're like, no way could he be nuclear, but the hurricane forever bringing Ghidorah lightning monster is absolutely not ridiculous. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
You see the cankles on Godzilla? That's also bullshit. Who's got
that poor
cankles
guy.
like that in nature?
That poor guy.
No way. How is he going to swim with a tree trunk? What the fuck is that?
Definitely not taking his blood thinners.
We need a musical of Godzilla.
Hey, in Japanese.
TM.
You know, the energy of this feels very much like the Dracula musical from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. You know, like the puppet.
Yes,
it has that same sort of energy where you're like, this is
I
so
know.
silly, but also like you're into it because you're just like we're all in on the quote unquote joke. You know, like that's sort of
Yeah, absolutely. All right. The next scene takes place at a town meeting where local ranchers are trying to get some sort of help from the mayor because a lot of their cattle seem to be dying from mysterious circumstances. And no, it's not Batboy. Before you say it, it's not him. I don't think they ever really actually reveal what it is.
It's Chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
It probably is.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me. I know.
Right. And so they sing a musical number about it. We soon return to the Parker's home, where Dr. Parker is planning to basically give Edgar a lethal injection.
Because he came to his senses. That's why.
Yeah. But it also is kind of like dark and secret and mysterious. We don't know why he's trying to give him a lethal injection. Anyway, Meredith then pleads with her husband to rethink killing Edgar and promises to go to bed with him if he stops what he's doing. Apparently, their marriage has been on the rocks, and this offer convinces Dr. Parker to stay the execution.
Damn, girl.
What?
I mean,
Please don't kill this mysterious beast if I offer myself to you. Yeah. Instead, he feeds Edgar the only thing that he can reason a cave-dwelling bat creature would eat: animal blood.
truly.
And he's a veterinarian after all, so he seems to have a plentiful supply at the house.
I mean, transfusions.
Uh-huh.
You want
And the
goat, horse, or cow today?
Yeah. We have sheep.
Lucky day.
And the relationship of Dr. and Mrs. Parker seems to get a much-needed boost for the time being. Meanwhile, Ruthie isn't recovering too well at the hospital. And Ruthie's mother sings a little tune of revenge in which she promises to Ruthie that she'll have the sheriff, air quotes, take care of Edgar, and thus the rumors of the Parkers keeping a deadly creature in their home gets all over town. Everybody is now hearing that there's a bat boy in town.
I like the revenge, though. I love a good revenge ballad. It's a good one.
Right? Yeah. Well, and I can't remember how we brought it up. O'Keefe said in some interview, he's like, I do like to do stuff that makes fun of musicals. In fact, every now and then I'll throw a torch song in there. And I'm like, oh God, I've heard this term before. What is a torch song? It is that song where somebody vows that they'll protect somebody, or they will stand in their place if something bad is going to happen to them. It's just kind of another classical trope. So this mom she just did the torch song for Ruthie, as in, I'm carrying the torch for you, right?
Would that make like the Hellfire the torch song of Notre Dame then? in
Probably.
your opinion?
Maybe.
Dude, whoa. Tell me that tingles your soul too. Like,
Oh God.
he's so
Yeah.
evil. The
Mhm.
evil. Do you want to just like sit on a Zoom and watch Hunchback
Yeah,
together?
we should. We
Like,
probably should.
Oh my God. Carry on.
And the deep voice of Tony J. Hellfire. Okay, we're talking about Bat
Oh
Boy.
my.
Okay, so next, speaking of musical tropes, we are treated to something of a montage, which starts with Meredith helping Edgar learn how to speak and be eloquent and understand complex philosophical things and mathematical origins and everything. And I really don't know how much time passes, but eventually Edgar basically becomes human. To the point where Edgar has somehow now earned his high school equivalency.
I love the whole like My Fair Lady-ness of this.
It's
He's like, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain, but in Hartford, Hereford, and like, all right,
like,
Edgar.
Oh, it's learning. And all this time, like something of a mad scientist, Dr. Parker has been continuing to feed Edgar animal blood in secret and observe his behaviors thereafter. Because apparently when he does that, he becomes just a little more animal, just a little more wild.
Interesting.
Oh, hey, do you know it's a big hit in small southern communities?
Jesus.
Yes, Christian revival meetings.
There it is. You don't got to get me started.
Yeah, got to keep them numbers growing, right? Well, one is planned in Hope Falls, and it's happening soon. But the townspeople, who now know about Edgar, do not want that thing anywhere near their Jesus. Well, Dr. Parker is at this meeting, and he assures people that Edgar is not dangerous, but he promises to keep Edgar home and not let him go to the revival. So, whew, that thing ain't going anywhere near their Jesus. However, Edgar really wants to go, and he pleads with the Parkers to allow him to attend because part of his growth in this whole thing is he has found spirituality. He's found a lot of meaning in the readings of the Bible because he can read it now and can quote passages, and he wants to go.
He chose the Bible over Harry Potter?
Well, I could go so deep into that. Sorry, and I would lose you as a friend and a guest. The Parkers are very nervous about the prospects of this. So yet Edgar makes his case in a very sentimental way. He sings a reprise of the lullaby, A Home for You, which convinces Meredith to allow him to go.
Wait, you pronounce that reprise when it's in
Reprise.
song form?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do it in Rocky Horror every year. We do the number I Can Make You a Man reprise, and everybody is like reprise. I'm like, look it up.
Wow. No, I really didn't. And I actually used that term today, and now I'm like ashamed of myself because I'm like, I said the wrong thing.
It's my Paracephalus.
Well, I will now carry that torch.
Learning all kinds of new things on your humanities, you know?
Yep, absolutely.
Really, I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
I did not sound like an idiot.
Okay, so Meredith says he can go, but Dr. Parker keeps claiming that, sorry, he gave his word of honor. And now, wife, you are going against my word of honor. And so this gets him to get so worked up about it that he resorts to physical force. Not hitting her, but coming after her out of anger and grabbing her pretty harshly. Seeing this, Edgar instinctively leaps on Dr. Parker and bites him on the neck. Oh boy.
Oh,
all right.
dear.
You attack my mommy. When Edgar realizes what he's done, he recoils. Oh my God, how could I do that? I am I am not that thing. I'm not that thing. Meredith then goes to assist Edgar instead of her husband, who's not profusely bleeding from the neck, but he just got bitten by a bat guy.
Oh.
When Dr. Parker sees this, he sings a song to himself, describing his love for his wife and his humiliation that Edgar has come between them. And he begins to realize that he needs to eliminate Edgar in order to save his marriage.
Yeah, felt that coming.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Laurel's
Katie's
got
like, should
some.
have put him back in the cave.
Put him back.
I
Put him
warned
back
ya.
in the cave. Now he speaks. Now he wants to go meet Jesus.
Yep.
This is what he wants in his life. He's evolved.
This is all bad. This is
Too
all
late
bad.
now.
And he won't let me abuse my wife the way I intended to.
Right.
Right.
I love her so much. How dare he come between us? What?
Yeah.
That's also,
Uh-huh.
and it's Edgar's fault, not the husband's.
Yeah, not mine for like, whoa, okay, I was really out of control. And, we can explain to people later that, hey, I had a change of heart. If you're really still pissed off about it, we'll go home. Seems like an easy solution.
Yeah.
Nope. Resort to violence, and now I have to kill this thing. Okay. So Dr. Parker, after this personal inspiration song, he comes to and offers to take Edgar to the revival with them. So go along with wife. But you're like, you got a plan, dude. This is not good. So apparently at peace, Dr. Parker sends Meredith out of the room, claiming that he needs to give Edgar his medication. He tells him, go tell Shelley. She's going to be so thrilled that Edgar can now go to the revival. What he really does is entice the boy with the dead rabbit, and Edgar struggles to control his animal instincts. This all moves into the Act 1 closing number. That's right, we're not out of Act 1 yet.
That's not. Oh,
Uh-huh.
I was so struck. That's not even Act 1. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Act 1 closing number is called Comfort and Joy, in which we see a montage of townspeople preparing for the revival. We see Meredith helping Shelley be okay with Edgar going to it. And we see Edgar struggling with his newfound eloquence, ethical compass, and Christian values, all in the face of this little dead bunny that he can devour. But Dr. Parker then returns and extracts some of the blood from the rabbit to feed to Edgar, who can't help himself any longer and succumbs to his animal hunger. In this montage, Dr. Parker apparently is really getting around because he also visits the hospital to give Ruthie a lethal injection.
Shut up. What?
Uh-huh. Which he plans to blame on Edgar. Because she's all alone by herself in the ICU. Everybody's at the meeting. So he's going to go, swoop, that's in your blood now. And she dies on stage, and he plans to blame Edgar for it. Because everybody knows she got bit by Edgar.
This is nuts, Aaron.
I know.
What thrills and chills and a roller coaster of the Bat Boy musical that I did not expect.
Oh, you have no idea, Laurel. You have no idea. So Ruthie dies at the same time that Edgar hisses in as feral manner as possible, and that's the end of Act 1. It's really actually a very rousing number. You're like, my God, why did you have to close the curtain? I have to take a break. It's really exciting. So Act 2 begins as the revival is in full swing, and the Reverend who's there overseeing it offers to give someone in the crowd a faith healing, a laying on of hands, or I'll sprinkle some water and you're going to be just fine. Edgar is there with Meredith and Shelley and offers himself to be the recipient of the healing. Okay, in front of everybody who didn't want him there in the first place.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Most of the parishioners are disgusted by this, but at the altar, Edgar sings to the crowd, who are then inspired by how very human he has become. Not to mention how strong his moral compass seems to be. His connection to that Jesus we like is really, really strong. He can even quote stuff from the Bible. And plus, he talks real good. The town has now embraced Edgar.
Yay.
Yay. But there had to be a but. But Dr. Parker soon arrives and lets everyone know that Ruthie is dead, and it has to be as a result from the wound inflicted on her by Edgar. Well, immediately the town drops all the civility and completely turns on Edgar, and they all try to capture him right then and there. Mass chaos at the revival. Rick Taylor is there. He pulls a gun and is getting ready to shoot Edgar, but then his girlfriend, Shelley, stands between them. Rick then violently pushes Shelley away, and we know that doesn't do good for people Edgar likes. Edgar attacks Rick, bites him on the neck, and then flees into the woods. And in all the chaos, Dr. Parker says, I'm going to attend to Rick. I'll make sure he's fine. And while people are looking in another direction, he gives Rick a lethal injection too.
This is nuts. This is
So,
nuts.
Edgar has bitten 3 people up to this point.
Yep.
Okay.
But nobody knows about Dr. Parker yet. They just
I was
know
gonna
about
say,
the
but
2
Dr.
Taylor
Parker
kids.
was bit.
Was
Whether they know it or
bit
not.
and has killed
Okay.
2 children now because they were also bit. And he wants to blame the bat boy, Edgar.
So, right then and there, all these people are all passionate and fired up anyway. So easy to turn all that joy and happiness and love into, let's go kill a monster. So they form a mob and descend upon the woods. In the next scene, Shelley and Meredith search for Edgar in the woods, completely separate from the angry mob. And as they search, they both agree that once they find Edgar, they're going to leave Dr. Parker and Hope falls behind. Because that guy is a son of a bitch, and this place is crazy. We're going to go and find a new life. Shelley confesses to her mother that she's falling in love with Edgar.
I knew it was gonna go there.
Oh, boom. Yeah, right? You've got a young love interest. You've got a misunderstood being.
Yeah. Oh.
There's your Quasimodo and Esmeralda right there. That's how it should have gone. Anyway. So Meredith, upon hearing this, is terrified and disgusted and expresses this to her daughter. And of course, out of teenage feelings, Shelley runs away from her mother deeper and deeper into the woods. You don't understand me. Poof. Right?
Fair.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of natural. Like, honey, it's a bat thing that eats blood. Let's maybe not. Okay. Red flags are popping up for this one on me. You know?
You never understood me, Mom, and my desires and dreams and goals. What if I always was in love with the bat people? I don't know.
I can't that he's bald and I don't know if it can mate. Anyway. All right. So yeah, Shelley runs deeper into the woods where she eventually finds Edgar before anyone else does. They console each other and thus actually admit their love for each other. Okay. This isn't the craziest thing that happens in this play. Then out of nowhere, the god Pan appears with all manners of forest creatures.
Shows up here?
What the
Pan
hell?
shows up. Yep.
No way.
Pan then blesses the couple and forms a pagan union between them in something of a ritual. I've lost Laurel. She's offline.
Pan does weddings? It's the first I'm hearing of it.
Well, I think I don't think he takes requests. I think it's got to just be inspirational and like, you know.
That would make sense.
I can oversee this union. Absolutely.
He's a mischievous fellow, that Pan.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So while this is going on, most of the animals are just basically mating on stage.
Yeah, that checks out when Pan's around. Yep, I was gonna say that, but you took it there, so go ahead.
Yeah. But it ends with a very Lion King show of reverence to the marriage of the new couple. Like in the version I watched, all the performers, all the animals, like you had a couple chipmunks or something that were controlled by one person. And he would just like lift them up and they'd all be going to the central point of Edgar and Shelley. And it was a big, glorious thing. Laurel's broken again.
Oh, this is great. What I'm imagining, I can't wait to watch this later.
Oh, yeah.
Because I will for sure watch it. And I can't wait to like be able to compare and contrast what was happening in my mind during our recording and like what actually, you know what I mean? Like this is a fever dream. It's amazing.
Oh God.
I'm so into it.
Yeah. Well, from there, it's very heavily implied that, well, now you're married, got to go consummate the thing.
Yeah,
and
Pan's a fertility god.
Yeah. It's like, I didn't come here for nothing.
Yeah.
Sits and watches.
Somebody's gonna bone. Like, that's gonna happen. It's not an option when Pan's around.
Yeah,
he plays that flute and you are fucked, literally, as well as figuratively.
I didn't just put on the horns for nothing. Oh, God. Now, in the next scene, the remaining Taylor sibling, Ron, is desperately and angrily searching for Edgar in the town slaughterhouse, because we all have one of those. The townspeople hear him in there, just making a lot of ruckus, and Mrs. Taylor, who earlier sang the song about vengeance for Ruthie, sets fire to the slaughterhouse, thinking it's Edgar, and burns the entire building down. accidentally killing Ron.
The last alliterative child.
Yep.
Her own child.
Her own child. Yep. Now, the sheriff realizes the town is losing its goddamn mind.
Yeah.
And pleads with Dr. Parker to speak to everyone to calm them down because he always seems to be the voice of reason. Dr. Parker gets their attention and instead incites them to even further violence because, he's got to get Edgar, as he believes Edgar has to die in order to save his marriage under the auspices of doing everything right for his wife.
I have to say, for something pulled off of a tabloid, as a silly idea, this shit went places.
You think this is crazy now?
But wait, there's more.
Well, there's a lot that you could pull from this, is all I'm saying. It's not an empty musical. You know what I'm saying? Like this is good for school children to watch, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's that kind of valuable.
Well, okay. Up to this point, probably. Where we're going from here,
18 plus.
Well, yep. Now we get the rated R stamp. Okay, here we go.
Here it comes.
Next, we see Shelley and Edgar in the woods, happily in love. This is after the burning down of the slaughterhouse and, the equivalent of get your torches and pitchforks. Edgar starts to get hungry, and there's no blood around. He implores Shelley to leave, as he will probably give over to his animal side again and doesn't want to hurt her in any way. And he can't promise he won't attack her. Shelley then offers her arm out for him to bite and drink her blood. There's your goth right there. Take mine. Take mine. Yeah. I can make more.
More eyeliner. More bangs.
Yeah,
more footwork.
I need a lot more hairspray and have it go everywhere. And no hair is going the same direction. Okay. This is when Meredith finds them and reveals that she is Edgar's mother.
Wait.
I just heard the record scratch.
Hold on. So Meredith is who again?
Meredith is Dr. Parker's wife and Shelley's mom.
Oh.
So she had taken up that mantle of, I'm going to be his mom and I'm going to protect him. But she's like, no, but seriously, guys, I actually am his mom. That's what's happening right now.
That's why I wanted to take care of him so much, because I'm actually his mother and I didn't know where he went. Now, before we hear that story,
what in the Game of Thrones is going on right now?
Out of shock, horror, and humiliation, Edgar runs away from the women and, being completely overwhelmed, kills a cow on the way back to the cave where he was found. In the cave, and holding the cow's severed head, Edgar makes a vow to kill Meredith and Dr. Parker for what they've done to him. He sings it in a song while holding a severed cow's head.
Right. Naturally.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
he needed to eat. 2, he couldn't help himself. I think the song is called An Apology to a Cow.
That's fair.
I'm not kidding.
You know what, though? I'm on Edgar's side. Those two assholes should have been honest with you. This isn't Edgar's fault.
No.
He's just trying to survive, man.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
You're really rooting for this guy.
Soon, the mob finds the cave, and just as they are about to pursue Edgar to dispatch him, shuffle him loose of this mortal coil, Dr. Parker and Meredith arrive. They prevent the mob from killing Edgar. Ooh, I gotta take a breath for this. As they explain exactly what he is. Years ago, Dr. Parker was experimenting with the serum of his own creation, some sort of a potion that contained bat pheromones. He accidentally spilled it on his wife, causing him to go mad with sexual voracity. Dr. Parker then sexually assaulted his wife because he couldn't control himself, and as Meredith fled from her sexually crazed husband, a colony of bats were attracted by the pheromones as well, and they also sexually assaulted her. And 9 months later, Meredith gave birth to both Edgar and Shelley.
I'm too uncomfortable to make eye contact with you right now.
Yep, that's what happened. Be careful with your bat pheromones, kids. That's all I can say.
I mean,
Woo! Okay, Laurel's caught her breath. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I just. What?
Yes. Yes.
I take back what I said about school children watching this.
No,
completely.
I told you. I told you.
You were like, hard stop. And I was
This
like,
this is not an after school special. No.
It
Now,
got so much worse.
after this whole revelation, Edgar begs Dr. Parker to kill him in front of all of them. Just please
would
take me
too.
out. Dr. Parker won't do it, but then Edgar confesses that he's mated with Shelley.
because you didn't tell him the truth.
Yeah, right.
What the hell?
He also tells Dr. Parker that Shelley offered her blood to him out of love. And now, completely overcome, Dr. Parker lunges at Edgar with his knife, but he stops himself. He can't do it. Absolutely overcome by emotion. Whew. Shakespeare couldn't have written this. Dr. Parker then takes his own knife and slits his own throat, offering himself to Edgar as he falls to the ground. Smelling the fresh blood, Edgar leaps on Dr. Parker to feed, and Dr. Parker stabs Edgar in the back. Meredith attempts to stop the whole struggle, but gets stabbed herself. And all three die on the cave floor in front of the whole town. This is Hamlet rewritten. 90 people are dead. No, just the three. And Edgar dies in Shelley's arms as she sobs in the grief of being a new widow.
I need some more whiskey.
Is that the end?
That's just the second act, Katie.
The cast then woefully but spiritedly sings the final number, which ends with a reprise of Hold Me Bat Boy.
Well, I have reevaluated my mental illness in the last 45 minutes, and I'm going to tell you that I think I'm doing all right. I'm going to stay happily singing in the rain with
I'm doing
Disney
fine.
in the 90s.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not that bad, and I'm not that sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
This has been a really healing recording session, Aaron. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm not done. I mean, this is the encore.
Oh no, there's more.
No. That's the end of the play. But obviously, there's a lot of themes here. I mean, if you have been able to get sucked into this thing,
Yeah, right up until that last moment.
well, I mean, even that, I mean, it stretches you. But at the same time, if you're going that far, then you have to say it's okay for Godzilla to go nuclear. Like bat pheromones, sexual assault, children born of that sexual assault. Okay, I get it. And it tragically, they all realize that their lives have gotten too far. They need to stop. They need to end. So I'm seeing a lot of similarities between Bat Boy and like Frankenstein or King Kong, right? In which humanity seems to kill the thing that it either doesn't understand or hopes will bring their life meaning. That's one.
Yeah.
I mean, it obviously is like this musical that is going to draw a crowd that's not necessarily musical people, but eventually it kind of does. Hey, you wanna find out how it did in the long run?
I am interested.
Yeah.
Now, I won't go into this too much because the end result is actually kind of the more impressive thing. In New York, Bat Boy the Musical opened off-Broadway at the Union Square Theater on March 21st, 2001, and closed on December 2nd, 2001. That's a 9-month run.
Oh, wow.
That's not
That is
bad.
impressive. Yeah.
No,
That's
it's
not bad.
bad.
I mean, again, I'll bring up Little Shop. Little Shop has been running there for about 4 years now, but it's an incredibly popular show, and they keep changing cast members out, so it's kind of like a novelty of like, who am I going to see play Seymour or Audrey this time? It's going to be really fun. The reviews were pretty rave in New York, which prompted an opening on the West End, and the audiences and critics there were not as kind. Like. Honestly, in New York, off Broadway, you're expecting to go watch weird stuff, not necessarily stuff that you can always connect to. First time I went to Broadway, I have a friend who was in Rock of Ages, and he was Stacey Jacks, and it was
nice.
it was a small theater. It was like I think just under 500 seats, and it was killing, like it was selling like crazy. Then COVID hit, and Yeah. But I mean, it's that kind of like Rock of Ages already hit Broadway. But at that time, 2019, they're like, this one might be a little weird for Broadway right now, but we'll go see it off Broadway. That's fine. That's fine. So something like Bat Boy 2001. Yeah, we're ready to see something. Oh my God. And just think of that. It lived through 9/11.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was just gonna say that to you when you said, ironically enough, Blake has been forcibly listening to My Chemical Romance all day. Because, which, Laurel, in case you don't, well, and Aaron, if you don't know, a lot of MCR is heavily inspired by 9/11.
Yep.
So yeah, a little bit of a thread there. But yeah, wow. That's impressive alone in and of itself is that right there. Like,
I think it kind of speaks a lot to the shock that people were feeling, because I certainly remember that. I was in LA and I'm like, oh, cool, we're next. But the fact that, you know, it's 6 months into a run and this national tragedy happens in the town, it just was down the street a little ways. I think a story that's that absurd and that far removed, but actually really still close to like the flip-floppiness of humanity. You know, we're like the day before, we're like, I don't understand all this antagonism towards the Middle East. And then, you know, we have this thing and then everybody's like, let's go get them. We needed that. We needed that like feeling of balance and justice. And yeah.
right.
So I think something like Bat Boy probably made everybody go, wow, at least my problems aren't that fucked up.
Really, honestly, you could be living Game of Thrones, which nobody wants.
Yeah. Am I the only one who felt bad for Cersei and Jaime as a ceiling fell on them?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Yeah,
curious.
you are.
Katie's like, yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Your
I
feelings
did
are
not-
wrong and invalid.
I mean, like, yeah, not like validly feel that. I will never tell you not to feel a certain way. Like, and I mean, even about Harry Potter, because I don't even really like it. So you do you. You will not hurt my feelings
Okay,
at
good.
all.
Well, regardless about Bat Boy,
Yes.
it soon found cult following and has been produced hundreds of times in regional, college, and community theaters all over North America.
Yeah.
And it always does well. I saw some review as I was reading through this. It played in like Salt Lake City, and I'm like, oh, I bet that didn't do very well there. And the girl was like, it's selling like crazy. And I purposefully have kept like, I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to listen to it. I'm going to go review it. I'm not excited about it, and came out in love with it. And this is a person who really loves musicals. So she was like very pleasantly surprised that Bat Boy is something that she found herself enjoying.
Okay. So she does like musicals.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And has a blog on it. Now, as we record this in October 2025, a new production at the New York City Center is getting ready to open on October 29th for a 2-week event, including many current Broadway performers, directors from Broadway's, a lot of the designers are, and this would include Carrie Butler as Meredith, who played the same role in the 2001 premiere.
Like, listen, we could all take a field trip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
It
Like-
would be a good time.
Like, anyone who wants to jump on that and do that, Aaron, do you take Zelle? Like, here we are.
Well-
like, I've already figured this out.
Tickets are available now, as far as I understand. Composer Lawrence O'Keefe, I talked about him in the beginning. He described the crowd who went to see it in New York as this, quote, "The people who are standing in line to buy the $20 rush tickets are all very heavily pierced," which he took as a good sign of the show's durability. He went on to say, "It sort of seems to have an ecumenical appeal. Your standard New York theater going audience seems to like it, as well as your heartless club kids who like to see blood."
Heartless club kids.
Isn't that great?
You know what? Right? I was going to say, first of all, the reason those people are there because it doesn't shy away from going where no other one will go before.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You know?
They see Bat Boy on the cover. They're like, that's going to be neat.
It's, yeah. And
Is there
not
blood?
shy.
Is there blood? There will be blood. Lawrence O'Keefe went on to write the music and lyrics for the very popular musicals Legally Blonde and Heathers.
I thought I knew the Legally Blonde one. I was like, I think I know that.
Yep. Yep. So hopefully my listeners, that helps you understand the level of musical prowess applied to Bat Boy. And here's how I'm going to end this thing. Here's a quote from Lawrence O'Keefe on the potential lasting impact of Bat Boy the Musical. It's kind of longer, but I thought this was great. It's mostly a musical for people who hate each other. I also think that it's as serious or as dumb or as silly as you want to make it because we tried very hard not to wink at the audience. Like, tell them this is absolutely satire. No, they're trying to tell you an actual story, just like Weekly World News did. You know it's fake. It's just plausible enough that it might be real. Okay, here's the rest of the quote. These characters don't know they're funny or ridiculous. And so inside the ridiculousness, there is a plot that I think hangs together very kind of nicely. If you want to think that it has resonance on other levels besides the parody stuff, well, good. You'll enjoy it, I guess. It's every bit as serious or silly as you want it to be, and it's nice to have that option because I've seen a lot of comedies that don't give you that choice. And that's my story on Bat Boy the Musical.
What a treat. Thank you so much.
That was a ride, though.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. Taking my shoulder harness, just pushing it up.
Yeah.
Buckling.
I feel a little bit like I
Wow.
did just take a lot of G-forces, though. Like, that's a little bit of how much of a roller coaster that was. Like, I'm like I physically feel winded from listening to that.
I don't know if I've ever had that effect on anybody.
Yeah. No, you've winded me with all of that. Like, what?
Well, I mean, there's just a part of me where I go, if you don't like musicals, you don't like musicals. I get it.
Yeah, sure.
You never know when one is just going to absolutely capture you. You really don't. I mean, you never know what you're going to find that's going to hook you into a genre.
It's so true.
Here's what I'll say to my listeners. Give Bat Boy a shot. And if you still hate musicals, that's your call.
Then I guess musicals are just not for you.
Fair enough. Not your thing.
Oh, man. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think I've found another bucket list show that I have to do. But I definitely think I'd want to go see it if I knew the production was happening somewhere close to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you've piqued my interest enough for sure. At least once.
At least once.
At least
tonight.
once.
I want to hear what the music sounds like, honestly. When you said it had good musical production, I was like, well, that right there I would show up for.
Yeah. It does sound a lot like Little Shop, some like Jesus Christ Superstar, some more like
okay.
More like the Who's Tommy, I would say is what the sound of the music is like.
Okay.
That feels like it checks out. Like that feels like that makes sense, Yeah.
Yeah, but it goes all over the place. It really has a very wide range from like absolutely sweet and tender ballads to just those rousing numbers that get people to stomp their feet and march. And the Hold Me Bat Boy is like, you listen to it at the beginning, you're like, what? And then at the end, when they sing it to you again, you're like, yeah, you people just all done fucked up.
Yeah, without a
Wow.
doubt. Very
Mhm.
self-fulfilling prophecy on this one. Very much like I got that, in not to bring it back there, but we are going to the Hunchback of Notre Dame where they say who is the
Mhm.
monster and who is the man, because that's that whole story. And I
Yes.
love that about that story.
Yep.
Y'all need to go listen to it. It's not even an option at this point.
Yep.
But but it's that whole who is the animal and who is the human. You know what I mean? That's what I felt this whole time as you were describing this. I was like, Edgar is the most civilized among them. And I just sat there with that and I was like, huh. Also, not to be weird, but because we brought up MCR earlier, Gerard Way's first play he ever played in elementary school, guess what he was? Aaron, do it. Who did he play? It
Quasimodo?
matters. He played Peter Pan.
Oh, Peter Pan.
I was
went
like
there.
Quasimodo, but I like how we've brought this full
No,
circle
it was
with our
Peter Pan.
visits.
He was picked because he had a girlish voice and figure.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Look great in tights, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, but I just thought that was funny. I
flying.
was like, actually, Gerard Way was Peter Pan. I was like, sit on it, Katie. Don't let your ADHD out. Control yourself. But
Simmer.
simmer.
Wow. It all comes back and circles around somehow.
Doesn't it?
That
Well, I know I didn't see that ending coming, but I love the message it leaves behind, and it's absolutely appropriate to compare it to Hunchback. Who is the monster and who is the man? It's worth a look in the mirror. I'd like to thank Laurel and Katie for their contributions to this episode, and I sincerely hope you start listening to their podcast if it's not in your playlist already. That's High Tales of History and can be found on most podcast providers. But for now, I'll sign off. This has been another episode of Euripides Eumenides. I have been your host, Aaron Odom. Another episode will be in your ears in a fortnight, and I will see you at intermission.